Well, welcome back everybody to Slowpoke Racing and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by W.GG, the energy drink for gamers, and Eldridge Air Conditioning. We are here for race 2 of our Saturday championship. This is round 7, and we're at Watkins Glen, just outside New York. I've already mentioned this is race 2. Race 1 was a cracker run by Fitzy. This time around it looks like it's a reverse grid, so we'll have a bit of a look down the grid, shall we, and then we'll get these guys off and running. And I'm pressing all the wrong buttons today, so you will have to forgive me. So on pole position then is Pete, with Brian the Mechanic in second. Phaser is third, Brian Moncani is fourth, Hoggy is fifth, Unforgiven sixth, Rufus is seventh, Smith is eighth, Stormfly ninth, Osman 10th on the grid, and last race winner was Fitzy. And well, it looks like we've got a substitute, a reserve, whatever you want to call it, but somebody else has joined us, and it is Art Racing. Not sure who Art Racing is, and glad to have him anyway. So Art Racing finds himself all the way at the back, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do. So back up to the front then. Get the right camera this time, and we'll get this race underway, shall we? Now, change of tyre, I think, for a few of the guys. Remember, mediums do have to be used in one of the races. So Pete going off with the softs then. He's going to lead us down towards turn 1 for the first time. He's already got Brian the Mechanic, Phaser, and Brian Moncani trying to put him under pressure. Up towards turn 2, Brian Moncani having a bit of a look at Phaser, is he? He's just going to follow him through. Everybody's just going to try and get some heat into the tyres, but Brian Moncani, pushing his luck there. He nearly had a bit of a scrape with Barry then, but manages to hold on to it. So it is as we started. So Pete, Bri, Phaser all going into the chicane. Let's just make sure everybody gets through there okay. It looks like they did. Yeah, I just want to go back up and see. Well, you know what? I lost my complete track then. So I'm going to follow Stormfly on this one, because he did absolutely fly. As we're heading up towards the chicane, he just made his way by Rufus, almost side-by-side action there. Oh, bit touchy-feely. Oh, and Rufus has gone. Where is he? Let's try and find Rufus and see what happened to him. Now, he was under a bit of pressure from Stormfly. Not really anywhere to go. He got Smith in front of him, so it's hard on the brakes. Side by side into the chicane. It really doesn't fit, guys, as Rufus found out. Good job he ghosted, otherwise he'd have took Osman with him. So that's so unlucky for Rufus. Come foul of that one. It was a bit of a coming together with Stormfly. Stormfly was absolutely going to get through there no matter what, and unfortunately poor old Rufus found himself now facing the wrong way and down at the back. Peter, however, it's always Phaser gets out of shape. It's all kicking off, isn't it, in this second race? First race was quite mild really. This one we've not even completed a lap yet, and it's already warming up. But Pete, he's off and running, trying to get a gap back to Brian Moncani in the other Porsche. So Porsche 1 and 2 at the minute. Hoggy in third, with Agent Smith up to fourth. He's got Stormfly just behind him now. Stormfly, he's on a bit of a mission, isn't he, in that McLaren? And with that coming together with Rufus, well, was that racing incident, or was it a bit of over-aggression? I do not know. It is not for me to call. It's that's a steward's decision, that one. But Stormfly sitting in fifth, and yeah, definitely on a mission. He is. Brian the Mechanic in sixth. Fitzy, he's moved up to seventh. Remember, he started at the back. Well, not quite at the back, because we've got Art Racing joined us. But Fitzy's now up to 6. Hoggy in, well, Art Racing has just gone through, so Art has just overtaken Hoggy, excuse me, as we're coming up to the chicane. We'll just follow these guys through. Now, I don't know anything about Art Racing. I've not seen him before, so be interesting to see what he can do. Can't really tell you much more about that then, and we shall see. He's putting Brian the Mechanic under a bit of pressure though. A little bit of lag coming from Brian the Mechanic, so that might make it difficult for Art to get by. Osman in 8th. Then we've got Hoggy. He's dropped down to 9th now, so lost a couple of places over the last couple of turns. Phaser in 10th. Unforgiven 11th, and Rufus all the way down at the back. He's picked up another penalty. He's just served that now, but he's now down in 12th, so not an ideal start for him after such a great race one. But back up to the top, and Peter having a great race so far. As he comes around turn 10 for the second time, he's going to cross the line to start lap 3 ahead of the field. Brian Moncani still sitting there behind him in second, with Smith now made his way up into P3. Stormfly behind in P4. These two had quite a battle in race 1. Stormfly managed to get by Smith after he served a penalty, and they're at it again now. It's all getting a bit touchy-feely as they try and go side by side through turns 2 and 3. Around turn 4 onto the straight, heading towards the chicane. Let's go on board with Stormfly, shall we, as we're chasing Smith through the chicane. Full throttle almost through there, I think. I'm not sure if he's slightly lifted, I don't know, but Brian Moncani has soon been reeled in by these two, hasn't he? So Smith now right up to the back of Brian Moncani. Oh, and a bit of a touch there. It looks like no harm done. There is nobody behind, so Smith and Stormfly both still facing the right way and racing, so we'll keep going. It's all getting very competitive out there now. We're just going to stick with Stormfly through the next couple of turns as we try and get by Smith, who in turn wants to get by Brian Moncani and Pete, so Smith will definitely be looking at trying to take the lead of this race shortly, as if he can get by the two Porsches. And Stormfly having a look at the inside. Oh, just, I thought he was going to take the back end of Smith's car out, but just managed to get it slowed down in time. Around turn 9. Now then, did Brian Moncani go wide there? I think yes he did. He's picked up a half a second, so he's definitely going to lose that P2 if it stays like this. So Smith, he'll be encouraged by that, although he will try and get by Brian Moncani before they get to the penalty zone. But in the meantime, he's got some defending to do against Stormfly. So this little group of 4, they're just starting to open up a bit of a gap now. Back to Art Racing, who's now made his way up into 5th. So Art has got ahead of Fitzy, ahead of Osman. So Art in 5th. As Fitzy has a bit of a look up the inside. No, I thought he was going to go for it then. Good racing from Fitzy. I think he's just trying to get himself in Art's mirrors, just to try and put him off a little bit, try and get the pressure going, try and force a mistake. Osman just sitting there at the minute behind Fitzy, biding his time, just waiting for the opportunity. Now then, it looks like these guys, so they have, Art has caught right up to the back of Stormfly. So this little battle that we had between Stormfly, Smith and I forgot who it was now, as it's all changed, because it's now about a 5 or 6 car battle. In fact, if we go up to the top, Petey's still out in front. He's got Smith in 2nd, Stormfly 3rd, Art is 4th, Osman 5th, Fitzy is 6th. Brian the Mechanic, we've lost Brian Moncani, so what happened to Brian Moncani? Let's just see if we can go back and see what... Oh, he served a penalty, didn't he? Of course he did. So Brian served that penalty. That's dropped him all the way down to 8th. But some fantastic racing going on at the pointy end. Pete doing everything he can to keep these guys behind him, and he's doing a good job as well, actually. It's not easy keeping these guys behind you. Some very fast drivers. Agent Smith, Stormfly, Art, he's proving to be quick out there as well. As Osman has managed to get in front of Fitzy, so Osman now up into P5, Fitzy into P6. Stormfly now coming under a little bit of pressure. Brian Mulcahy down into 8th. Fazer is in 9th. He's got Unforgiven all over the back of him, although Unforgiven has got half a second penalty, but Unforgiven goes up the inside. What a great move that was at turn 2, up through turn 3 into turn 4. So Unforgiven. Oh, and Fazer's picked up a penalty as well. So Unforgiven, he'll have a bit of a sigh of relief there from Unforgiven, because when he serves the penalty, Fazer will as well. Now the only one that can benefit out of this is going to be Rufus. If he can get close enough to Fazer, he may be able to pinch P10. I don't think he's close enough to Unforgiven to actually take P9 away from him, but we shall see. We'll just follow these guys around turn 6, down the hill towards turn 7, and then up towards the penalty zone, because Rufus is now right up the back end of Fazer's car. Now these guys are going to serve their penalty, so there we go. Unforgiven, penalty served. Fazer, penalty served. Now can the momentum that Rufus has got carry him through? It has. So Rufus has gone up to P10, Fazer drops to 11, and Unforgiven manages to hold on to P9, but Rufus is all over the back of him now. So Rufus having a good recovery after the coming together he had with Stormfly on lap 1 at the chicane. So Rufus just getting his head down, concentrating on what he's doing. Oh, Fazer, where's he gone? That's got to be another penalty, surely. He left the track and went off shopping, I think, then come back on. So yeah, another penalty for Fazer, and Hoggy down in 12th. So back up to the top, and Smith has now got into the lead. Let's just go back and see if we can find that was. Wow, long way, sorry. We missed that, so I do apologise, but Smith is now in the lead. Stormfly in 2nd, Art is in 3rd, and Pete, well, he was leading, wasn't he, for at least half of this race, and has now been caught up, and he's been a bit mobbed, really. He's now got Osman chasing him down. Let's jump on board with Osman as we try and get by Pete. Osman having a bit of a look up the inside at turn 6. Couldn't quite get it done. Peter defending for everything he's worth now into turn 7. The toe. Up the hill, we can see Art there in P3. Now Osman has a look. He gets a great exit out of turn 7, up the hill, up the boot, and then into turn 8. Not where it all is, still side by side. Peter's not giving this up, is he? Without a fight. Eventually he has to. He's still fighting Osman. This is fantastic stuff from Pete. Eventually Osman gets the job done as we're going around turn 9 now. Sorry, turn 10. This is, oh, I don't know where I am. That's turn 11. There we go, turn 11. So Osman now moves up into P4. And on the chase after Art. Pete in 5th, although coming under attack from Fitzy as they go into turn 1. Fantastic racing this is from Pete. He'll be loving this. Mixing it up with these guys, of course, the likes of Osman and Smith. They're all League of Champions racers. Then you've got Art and Stormfly that, if they're not in the League of Champions, they really should be. But Fitzy having a look up the inside, side by side into the chicane. Oh, now there was a touch there, but both got away with it. We will have a look at that. We will definitely have a look at that. Now this is coming up towards the chicane. Osman, oh, a little touch there from Osman. I'm sure it wasn't intentional. And we're just entering into the chicane, and again another little touch. But nothing intentional. Everybody's still facing the right way. So I'm looking for Pete, but he's now dropped down into 6th. Great racing from Pete though. He's having a fantastic second race. Led for well over half of it, I think. So well done to him. Rider Mechanic in 7th. He's just trying to hold off Brian Mulcahy. Then we've got Unforgiven. Now Unforgiven's he's got a 1 second now. So Unforgiven really pushing track limits. Rufus also with a 1 second penalty. Hoggy in 11th, and Fazer down in 12th with that familiar red box above his car. Not really his track, is it, at the minute? So Unforgiven holding on to P9, Rufus in 10th and Hoggy in 11th. So the penalties that they serve not really caused them any great issues. But back up to the top then, and Smith just holding off Stormfly as we go into, what, 2.5 minutes left now. So Stormfly getting a lot closer to Smith. So Agent Smith got some defending to do over this next lap and a half. It is the GTR against the McLaren. The McLaren, a very steady car, all-rounder. Used to be a bit like the Porsche, but since the update, the Porsche sort of, well, it suffered a little bit. I've not driven the McLaren since, but the way Stormfly's driving it, it looks like it's actually got better. But I would put that down to the driver and not necessarily the car. But that is Stormfly off after Smith. I think Stormfly was slightly quicker through that sector as well, because he has now caught right up to the back of Smith. So maybe plotting his move. Maybe looking at the straight as soon as he goes around turn 10. If he can get close enough and get into the slipstream, he can probably make a move before they get to turn 1. We're just going to stay with these two. You can see the gap there back to Osman, currently sitting in 3rd, so he's managed to get by Art. But I'm just going to stay with these two because, as I say, I think if Stormfly is going to make a move, he's going to have to do it when they get onto the start-finish straight to start their next lap, which will probably be their final lap as well. So around turn 10 they go. This is where Stormfly needs a good exit, and he needs to be a bit closer to Smith. I don't think he's going to get close enough to make the move before turn 1. Smith is going to defend it if he has to, but no, it is still Agent Smith in the lead of this race. Stormfly sitting in 2nd. The only next real opportunity that Stormfly is going to get is as they come around these couple of turns through turn 4 and onto the straight, and this is it. This is the only other opportunity I think that Stormfly will get. He's into the slipstream. Smith defends, and Stormfly just has to slot in behind, so we'll let that battle rage just for a minute. Osman still sitting in P3. He's managed to open up a gap back to Art, who's now sitting in 4th. So maybe a mistake from Art. Fitzy in 5th. Pete in 6th. He's just heading up this little trio here. We've got Brian the Mechanic and Brian Moncani in there as well. So this is going to be a great little battle between these three for P6. I would say Pete has had a fantastic race. That's, oh, who's that? That's Brian Moncani. No, Brian the Mechanic. Let's have a look, see what happened to Brian the Mechanic. It was coming out of turn 6. How did he get out in the marbles? Yeah, he just got his right hand side of the car onto the grass and slammed into barrier, but did well to keep it facing the right way. Oh, he's got really dirty tyres now. Good job he's not coming under a lot of pressure. So Brian the Mechanic just needs to get them tyres cleaned off. He's sitting in 8th. Rufus up into 9th. Unforgiven, well, he's down in 10th with Hoggy all over him. And I'm just going to have to go back up now as we follow the leaders around turn 10. It is Smith out in the lead, and Smith is going to cross the line and take the win. He does, with Stormfly 2nd. Osman gets 3rd. Art gets 4th, Fitzy it gets 5th. Pete just ahead of Brian Moncani in 6th, Brian Moncani 7th, Brian the Mechanic 8th, Rufus 9th, Unforgiven 10th, Hoggy 11th, and Phaser across the line in 12th. Well, what shenanigans in that one, and we have got one more race to come. So please join me for that.